Just like many insecure dudes on dating apps claiming they 6'1", in reality, 5'10" soaking wet on a good day. It's absolutely reasonable to lie when the super picky ladies claim they only interested in guys with a 6-foot height minimum. Whatever gets you the dates. At the end of the day, it's up to you to perform, make something memorable happen. But when you have the luxury to be in the top 0.01%, playing in the National Basketball Association, it wasn't until several years ago when the NBA started to crack down on height lies, requiring players to certify and submit height and age before getting published. Imagine when applying for a dating app, you'll all have to go through a background check, get measured barefoot on the dot, height punch in your profile, making it unchangeable. You better hope none of the dating app CEOs see this video. Don't get mad at me if I destroy your confidence. Not all NBA players are super confident about their height. In fact, some have tons of insecurities in their own way. The king of that, Kevin Durant, at the height of his single life status, soon to be 36, multiple burner accounts. At this point in time, many just rather pay $100 for KD to finally confirm his actual height, measured and recorded. Now in his 4th Olympics, heading into his 17th NBA season, the all-time great continues to say he's 6'9", says Joel Embiid's not 7 foot, and hilariously said those guys are shorter than what's to be acknowledged. His height changed to 6'10" on Basketball Reference, and then all of a sudden 6'11". All-time great LeBron James being 6'8", first 15 seasons of his career, measured at 6'8.5" barefoot, added to 6'9", KD at least an inch and a half on James a couple years ago. When that's about his height, when he's talking to women, he's 7 feet, but in basketball circles, he's 6'9". As a small forward, being capable of handling the ball, moving fluidly like he does, never wanted to be listed as a power forward or bigger than a 3, when indeed KD's taller than most 4s and even some 5s, especially during his tenure in OKC. The famous Kendrick Perkins listed at 6'10", is evident Durant's taller than Perk. In multiple pictures together, in some of these photos, he looks 2 inches taller and absolutely 100% taller than 6'10" Nick Collison, who's probably closer to 6'8", even looks a bit taller than listed 6'11" former teammate Serge Ibaka. In the lineup of Perkins, Big Serge, and KD, how many times will we see a true small forward taller than both their power forward and center on the same team? With the 5 being the shortest of the 3, how sick of a starting lineup is that? Welcome to the uniqueness of Kevin Durant's God-given abilities, almost even the same height as 7-footer Steven Adams. Dating back to even 8 years ago, controversy arose with Team USA when self-proclaimed 6'9" KD stood next to listed 6'11" DeMarcus Cousins. To no surprise, KD, clearly taller than Boogie by a good full inch and change, looks nearly the same height as Tim Duncan, and clearly taller than former teammate 6'10" to 6'9" Blake Griffin. Whether Durant himself even admits his true height, we can all be sure he's way closer to 6'11" than actually anywhere in the 6'9" range. Another Kevin who lied about his height to be drafted higher, none other than Kevin Love, originally 6'10" and measured just a hair under 6'8", on the same level as former 6'8" teammate Derek Williams, which makes his rebounding even more impressive back in the day. Already being undersized, playing like a big man, if Love said he was a 6'8" power forward, banging around 6'11" guys down low, might have fallen in the draft. Here's a group picture of Love for a rookie-sophomore challenge, standing next to some bigs nowhere near the levels of Brook Lopez, Marc Gasol, or even Danilo Gallinari, who's 6'10". In a Call of Duty Stages event back in September 2011, Love stood next to Miami's Chris Bosh, who's a true 6'11" big, and Bosh easily looks 3 inches taller than Love. Even in many pictures with former teammate LeBron standing next to each other, it seems like James has the slight edge in height, but not by much, and looks like he's 3 or even 4 inches shorter than Evan Mobley. Listed 6'11" is Evan. Jared Allen, slightly taller than Love, also listed 6'11" and now 6'9". Even with the afro on, Mobley clearly taller than Allen by at least 2 inches. Another Kevin who lied about his height, being 6'11", not wanting to be listed as a true 7-footer. Although KG often played the 5 in closing lineups, but built with a slim frame, the great late Flip Saunders used to call Kevin 6'13". If KG wasn't bald and had an afro, everyone would think he's 7'2". looks about the same as 7-foot Brook Lopez. And this photo from the 2008 Eastern Conference All-Star team, KG clearly looks taller than Chris Bosh by about an inch and at least has 2 inches on Dwight. Enjoying his final season, a mentor to the so-called 7-footer Karl Anthony Towns, but KG standing next to his rookie, clearly taller than Cat. Both their actual heights should be switched. Oddly enough, Towns not even taller than Jahlil Okafor, who's listed 6'10 on Basketball Reference. No way is Towns 2 inches taller than Jahlil when he's clearly shorter. Of course, Justice, who's out of the NBA Winslow, originally listed 6'7 and 6'6 his height on Basketball Reference, when he doesn't look like more than half an inch taller than D Wade. Lies on lies. From being listed a full inch and a half shorter from 2014 to 15, it's one thing to have your height off by an inch, but 3 inches? An absolute travesty! Of course, Elton Brand listed 6'9, in reality closer to 6'7, at least 5 inches shorter than Dirk in this photo, and maybe an inch taller than 6'6 Vince Carter. Also looks shorter than 6'6 Andre Iguodala. For the former #1 pick to average over 20 and 10 for 6 seasons, having the audacity to be listed at 6'10 at one point, his ridiculous 7'5 wingspan makes up for the lack of height. 6'7 Tobias Harris even looks taller than Brand in this photo, while 6'7 Jimmy Butler somehow does too. Former teammate Thaddeus Young, listed 6'8 power forward, under the radar. Apparently, his real height 6'5 and 3/4. Here's proof that he's shorter than Iguodala and right around the same height as Brand, and looks about the same as 6'6 Evan Turner, even looks shorter than 6'7 Andrew Wiggins. Even the low-key players need to get exposed for the lies. So was Anthony Bennett, listed 6'8 as a former #1 pick, more like 6'7. Donovan Mitchell, even listed 6'4 at one point entering the draft, turned out to be only 6'1, becoming one of the most explosive players in the game, a godly near 7-foot wingspan, one of the players who plays much bigger than his height. While many believe Bronny James to be 6'4 since high school, exposed at the draft combine, only 6'1.5, a full 7 inches shorter than Pops, but has a 6'7 wingspan, good defensive intangibles, will certainly have his work cut out for him. We'll have to see how truly deserving he is, getting all that guaranteed money, drafted for only one reason for now. The most recent retired former star, Kemba Walker, 6'1", listed in college, in reality only 5'11", his prime years, insanely impressive. Gigi Barea used to be listed at 6 foot. Dirk Nowitzki hilariously knew all along his teammate would get exposed, about 5'10" without shoes. The Chris Pauls, Fred VanVleet, and even Allen Iversons at one point were listed 6'1", when all barefoot, clearly under 183 centimeters. 6'1" Michael Conley, only a shade under 6. Carson Edwards, 6'1" in college to just under 5'11". Even former #2 pick Brandon Miller, 6'9" in college, only 6'7" in the NBA. Same with Kevin Knox, known as one of the bigger disappointments in recent years. Bradley Beal went from 6'5 to 6'3. He was never 6'5, let's be honest. Dwight Howard went from 6'11 to really only 6'9 barefoot. Haywood Heisman, 6'7 to 6'4, even listed 6'6 and 6'5 on different sites, but clearly a few inches shorter than Jimmy Butler, while both Draymond and Clay listed 6'7 before the height changed to 6'6, easily both at least 4 inches shorter than Durant. Even the Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants of the world, various sites have reported Jordan 6'4.5 barefoot and Kobe 6'4 and 7/8, both 6'6 with shoes obviously. Of course, Hall of Famer Charles Barkley, listed 6'6 his entire career, actually closer to 6'4. Unreal for an all-time great power forward, especially having the nickname Round Mound of Rebounds. Bill Walton says last time he was measured at UCLA was 19 years old, 6'11", but clearly towered over 7-foot Hakeem in the '86 finals. Dream listed 7 foot, only around 6'10 barefoot, while this photo of Walton and Shaq both look the same height. Former Pistons great Ben Wallace, listed 6'9", many claim closer to 6'7", playing center, won 4 Defensive Player of the Years, clearly shorter than his starting small forward 6'9" Tayshaun Prince in multiple pictures. How about the times when both Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram reportedly grew to 6'10" in the offseason? How'd those rumors even start? Which other NBA players do you believe been listed the wrong height by more than an inch? Feel free to share your stories about seeing a certain player in person you thought were taller or shorter than expected. Tune in for more amazing content. See y'all next video.